When it comes to innovative products that redefine our technological world, Apple has been at the forefront of the digital revolution. From reimagining the smartphone to introducing us to the practicality of tablets, there are numerous reasons why Apple is looked at with high esteem whenever it announces a brand new product line. You could say that Apple has a knack for taking a pre-existing concept and improving it. Over the last couple of years, there's been a huge focus on making the home smarter by implementing these various connected gadgets. Smart speakers, in particular, have been getting more traction recently and have shown us all how useful they can be. Apple, interestingly enough, is a little bit late to the game, albeit most are going to be optimistic about the endeavor. But despite the high expectations, does the Apple HomePod really rock the house? Our reaction to seeing the HomePod for the very first time is that it's fairly compact, but sizing it up can be deceiving. After placing it next to a Google Home speaker, it becomes clear that it's bigger. The HomePod isn't grossly out of proportion, but compared to the Google Home, it occupies a substantially larger area on your desk or table. On the other hand, the HomePod stands in the same size category with the Sonos One and is significantly smaller than the Google Home Max. With the HomePod, Apple manages to strike a balance between chic and modern. The speaker has a rounded, cylindrically shaped body adorned with this mesh-like fabric material. But while we do like how the speaker sports a very natural texture, we're a bit concerned because it gives it an almost spongy-like feel. For any cat owners out there, don't be shocked if your pets mistake the HomePod for a scratching post. On top of that, we're curious to know how this softer-feeling material will hold up over time. On the top of the speaker is a touch-sensitive surface that's referred to as a display, along with LED backlit volume up and down touch buttons. This display, of sorts, functions as Siri's portal, appearing as this dynamic-looking swirl of colors when listening to our commands and reacting to them. Additionally, the touch-sensitive display performs media functions as well with various taps and long presses, such as pause, play and track forward, reverse. So far, it seems responsive to the touch. But we wish that this display could do and show more things. Audiophiles might be tough to please, but they'll be especially impressed by how much is crammed into the HomePod. Factoring its size and all, it's astounding how the engineers were able to precisely pack everything together. Specifically, the HomePod features a 4-inch high excursion woofer with a custom amplifier that channels sound through the top of the speaker, a 6-microphone array around the middle, and 7 tweeters on the bottom. All of that has been meticulously arranged to fit inside of the housing. The biggest complaint we have about the design of the HomePod is that the fabric-wrapped power cord isn't meant to be user-detachable. It will come out of its socket if you pull hard enough. Which is good news since you won't have to replace the entire speaker if only the cord goes bad. But on the other hand, we're not sure if replacing a faulty power cord yourself would be an option. Being Apple's first venture into the smart speaker arena, we're most eager to uncover what the HomePod can do in the home. Fashionably Apple, the process is relatively painless when it comes to setting up the HomePod out of the box. After plugging it into the outlet, the speaker comes to life with the soft white glow emitted by the touch-sensitive display. From here, the connection is established by simply placing our iOS device, an iPhone X in this case, in close proximity to the HomePod. And the rest is done for us, much like the setup process with the AirPods. Siri is the driving force behind the HomePod's capabilities, which, in our experience, pales in comparison to Google Assistant's reach with the various Google Home speakers in circulation. Getting Siri to listen is achieved by simply speaking the key phrase, "Hey Siri," much like how it's done on the iPhones. So far, it's been spot on with recognizing our voice, even when there's some music being played in the background. You can ask Siri all sorts of questions and commands, like what's the weather going to be on a particular day or how tall Michael Jordan is. You can ask her to perform mathematical conversions or some obscure questions. For the most part, Siri provides relevant answers. Emphasis on most. Since she's connected to our iPhone, Siri can also read our text messages aloud, which is useful. Currently, however, the feature has a critical flaw. Anyone, including a stranger, can ask her to do that. The issue that we have with Siri on the HomePod is that it just isn't as intelligent as its rivals, which becomes even clearer when you ask questions and follow up with more after that. You would think that Siri is smart enough to know what you're asking based on contextual clues from previous questions, but we've come across countless occasions where she fails. For example, we asked for the recap of the Super Bowl game, which she answered correctly, but failed to offer something tangible with a follow-up question asking who was named the most valuable player of that game. Furthermore, a lot of people are increasingly leveraging smart speakers to help control other connected devices in their home. For us, we managed to set up the Philips Hue lights to communicate with the HomePod through Apple's Home app on our iPhone X. Through the app, you can add additional supported accessories. From what it looks like, though, the support seems to be on par with what's offered by Google's home speakers. In our case, the only thing we're able to connect are a few Philips Hue LED light bulbs. Sure, we have other home-connected products, like a couple of Piper security cameras, the Logi Circle camera, and even a Ring video doorbell, but none of them are supported by HomeKit just yet. You bet it's a little bit frustrating that all of these home-connected gadgets can't be integrated into the same ecosystem, but this isn't just an Apple problem, it's a problem for everyone. The same situation is present using the Google Home speakers. Hue lights aside, none of the aforementioned devices are supported just yet.